Okay, let's start. Good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your participation in the Medical Devices Regulation and Reimbursement System in Taiwan webinar. It's our honor to host this webinar for you to better understand the Taiwan Medical Devices Regulation and to answer your questions about the QSD and market approval application procedures. To begin with, let me introduce Aviv Doron, head of the Israel Economic and Trade Mission in Taipei, Karim Moore, head of health tech sector at the Israel Expo Institute, and Ayala Fresen, business development at the Israel Expo Institute. And our speaker, Mars Chen, the leader of the Medical Engineering Division, RA Department at Qualtech Consulting Corporation. First, let's have Aviv give us opening remarks. Aviv, please.
Thank you, Elsa. Good morning to our participants from Israel and good afternoon here from Taiwan. My name is Aviv Doron and I'm the head of Israel Economic and Trade Mission here in Taipei. Israel, often referred as the startup nation, has been a long-time global leader of innovative medical technologies and solutions and keeping on the research and development of the next stage medical devices, fueling in advanced data features, machine learning, and top-notch AI features. Taiwan, the scale-up nation, is the ultimate partner for exploring your next steps for penetrating not only to the Taiwanese market, but also to additional territories in the Asian region. Today, together with the Israel Export Institute, we organized this online event to demonstrate the medical devices for registration and reimbursement process in Taiwan and to enable the Israeli medical devices companies to have an in-depth understanding of the process as well as the potential collaboration opportunities in the Taiwanese market. We at the Israel Economic and Trade Mission in Taipei are aiming to strengthen the collaboration between Israeli and Taiwanese companies by organizing business delegations to both Israel and Taiwan, promoting Israeli technologies online and offline, and working closely with the Israeli and Taiwanese ecosystems in order to create business opportunities, engagements, and B2B meetings. I would like to use this opportunity to invite you all to reach out to us and to our colleagues at the Israel Export Institute and explore more ways to collaborate with potential target partners from the Taiwanese market. Ms. Elsa Xie, Senior Trade Officer from our team, and myself, as well as Ms. Corinne Moore and her team at the Israel Export Institute, are available for any question you may have. Please feel free to reach out, and wishing you a fruitful event. Thank you.
Thank you, Aviv. So let's welcome Karim to give us remarks.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon, Aviv, Elza, Moss. Thank you so much for enabling it. It's always a pleasure to work with you. The Israel Export Institute sees great importance in strengthening the collaboration and the ties we have already with the Taiwanese market. We see it as a very prominent market, not only in Asia, but globally. We understand the potential that there is in this collaboration between Israeli companies and the scale-up nation as Taiwan is. And we think that when companies approach or investigate and inquire their go-to-market, Taiwan should definitely be at the top 5 for many companies. So I'm happy to see so many people here, so many companies that are exploring the option of penetrating the Taiwanese market and collaborating with the Taiwanese market. I will say that this is an online event that is it's taking place last year as well, and I see here at least one company that I know that is exploring the Taiwanese market in a very serious manner and is developing its relationships very quickly. And I think that during this year, during 2024, and the situation and the difficulties that the Israeli market is facing at the moment, which is I'm the last person who should be telling you that because we all experience it on a daily basis. I hope and expect to see more companies approach the Taiwanese market, trying to penetrate it, trying to enjoy the benefits it provides, and trying to offer the best technologies Israel has to offer to the Taiwanese market in terms of collaboration and deployment. So again, as Aviv said, I'm inviting all of you to approach either us at the Israel Export Institute or Aviv and Elza in Taiwan for any other question you may have, any other concern you may have, any partner you would like to partner with, we would be happy to facilitate anything in that matter for you. Thank you for joining us and enjoy.
Thank you, Corinne. Now let's welcome our speaker today, Mars Chen, to start his speech on overview the Medical Devices in Taiwan Medical Devices Act. Mars, please.
Okay, no problem. Thank you everyone for joining this online. And I will share my screen first. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Okay, then we shall start. So today I will introduce an overview of Medical Device Act, which was announced in 2021. And before that, please allow me to introduce ourselves. We are Qualtech, and we provide regulatory service in more than 10 countries. And as you can see, the orange part, we have offices in these countries, and our members are 50% have bachelor's degrees and 40% master degrees and 10% PhDs. What we provide was the services and medical device life cycle, including clinical trial and manufacturing, registration, distribution, and post-market surveillance. For the clinical part, we provide clinical trial, we write medical device, clinical trial plan, and we also help execution of clinical trial by professional nurse here in Taiwan. And we also write clinical evaluation report aimed to avoid conducting clinical trial. And for product registration, we provide services and also in not only in Taiwan, but also in Japan, Australia, China, Taiwan, and mostly also lots of Asian countries. And we also provide services for post-market, such as we provide license holder service to post-market matters, and we maintain license and authorization, and also adverse events reporting. And of course, because we have so much experiences, we have good relationships with lots of distributors. So we can also introduce or search the suitable distributor for your device. Now, before I start to talk about the Medical Device Act, I will briefly introduce the structure of TFDA. And as you can see, it's a regulate not only medical device, but also food and drug, and medical device division is just one of the operation division of the organization. And among these division, only medical device and cosmetic division are related to medical device, and also a quality compliance and management division. And TFDA have made the law to manage medical device marketing. So the source, or maybe you can call it Mother Act, is the Medical Device Act. It's the top one. And the act defines what medical device is and establish the scope of control and penalties. And follow that, the regulation are expanded from the act for more detailed requirements, such as you can see, lots of regulation listed here. And finally, there are administrative rules that should be followed to fulfill all the details requirements in the regulation. And here is the link of the law database of Taiwan. And you can find all the details, articles in this link. Now, Medical Device Act have regulate almost every part of the device life cycle. And the reason why I said scope is because medical devices cover each stage, and only the GLP I showed earlier were not directly managed by TFDA. And they do also require ISO certificate of the lab. So you can say they actually have some requirement about the lab quality. And as marked on the slide, each chapter of the act has corresponds to one of the stage of the life cycle. For example, this chapter 2 is related to manufacturing and sales, and so related also related to the distribution management. And the GSP related to registration currently have not implemented on medical device yet, but it's same concept as drug good submission practice. Then the post-market matters such as advertisement, because it's normally done by distributors, so it's put in the post-market part. And the post-market part is written in chapter 7, 6, and 7 of the Medical Device Act. So for TFDA, exactly what is medical device? Then according to Medical Device Act, Article 3, the device who design and use to achieve one of the following primary intended action in or on the human body by other than pharmacological, immunologically, and metabiologic and chemicals. The device who diagnoses, treat, elevation, or direct prevention on human disease, modification or improve of structural function of human body, or control of conception will be considered as a medical device. And TFDA have divided them in 3 risk levels and also 16 product categories. And under each categories, they are 4 digits as subcategory. Randomly gives number from 000 to 9999. So if you're familiar with US FDA regulation, you'll find this very similar with the regulation number of US FDA. And how do you determine whether your device is a medical device or not? Because the definition I just shared is not very direct concept. So if you're not sure whether the device will be determined as a medical device or not in Taiwan, then according to this regulation of classification of medical devices, Article 5, you can submit an inquiry to TFDA. And by submitting the IFU that includes operating instruction function, working principle in both Chinese and English version, TFDA can tell you whether your device belongs to medical device or not. And also you can provide a classification reference information. And although it says the US, the EU, but mainly TFDA refers to US FDA information. And you can also search the FDA approval of your device or maybe your predicate device and keywords of definition. Once you confirmed the device belongs to a medical device, and you can start the registration process. So the first step would be to get a QST license. And before that, you'll get to know whether your device belongs to class 1 or class 2, 3, or novel device. And if your device is a class 1 device, you can check whether the QST essential mode is required. And about this, I will explain more later. So I'll just go through the process first. And if the class 1 scope does not require essential QST, then you can directly get the approval from class 1 submission. And if it requires QST submission, then you need to submit QST and get the license first. And after that, you can go through the same process for class 1 submission. And class 1 submission are mostly administrative review, so not much technical report will be submitted. And for class 2, 3, and novel device, after you get the QST, you can submit the class 2 and 3 submission. So there are several steps or stages. The first one is an administrative review, and it takes about a week. TFDA will let you know whether they will continue to review technical dossier or not. And administrative review mostly focus on the documents such as authorization letter or free sale certificate or CFGs. So if it passed, you will directly go to a technical dossier review process. If not, they will issue an inquiry notice, and the deadline is a month, and you have to reply within a month. And next, the technical dossier review process takes about 3 to 4 months. Then you'll get the first notice, and the deadline will be 3 months. And after that, you reply to TFDA, then they will take about 2 months to review. And if everything goes smoothly, you will get the license. And if not, they will be second notice, or they will call it a rejection. But you still have a chance to provide documents, which is the appeal submission. And it takes about 3 to 4 months to review. Then you'll know the result, approval or being rejected. Finally, if your device is determined as a novel device, there will be a panel review. Mostly some high-risk product, maybe non-novel device, will also go through this process. And the process takes about 6 months at least. So if you want to go through this process as soon as possible, the best way is to prepare your documents as complete as possible in the initial stage. And last things is that please know that if the case was rejected and you want to submit again, you need to go through all the process again. Although TFDA will, refer the rejection letter and maybe check less technical documents, but the review time of first review, which is 3 to 4 months, and supplement review, which is 2 months, will remain the same. So better not being rejected. And as I mentioned, the first step is to get the QST. So I will talk about QST now. As you can see, the Chapter 2 of the Medical Device Act manage the manufacturing process and also design all the scopes in the ISO 13485. And it also extend the quality management system regulation and the rules of issuance of the license. So for QST, the definition of QST is an approval documents review as an alternative to the on-site audit. TFDA also provide on-site audit, but I don't think manufacturers prefer that way. And who needs the QST approval? All the overseas manufacturers will need the QST. And the one who participate in the activities of design, production, or you can call manufacturing, and package, labeling, and final inspection and release will need to apply for a QST. As you can see here that sterilization site only need to submit an ISO certificate will be sufficient. And how TFDA determine which activities or product scope can be approved? They normally decided by description on the ISO certificate and also manufacturing flowchart. As you can see, there are at least 4 activities here. So how many QST approval letter do you need if you want to go to a product registration? Then the principle is that all the activity must be fulfilled. So for the example, if your product was designed by manufacturing site C and manufactured in site A and maybe package labeling in site B, then according to the principle, you'll need 3 QST. And for the second case, you'll need 2 QST. And if you've done all the things in the same site, then you only need 1 QST. The condition is that the ISO 13485 certificate includes all these design, production, package label, final inspection, description. And QST have several management mode. So as I just mentioned before, TFDA have divided a device into 3 risk class. And they also divide in 3 QST management mode. So there are certain scope that is QST exemption. There are 115 scope of class 1 that you don't need to apply for QST, and you only need to submit application form to TFDA, and they will give you the license of the class 1 device. And for essential mode of QST, there are 551 scopes that need to apply for essential mode of QST. And for class 2, 3, and class 1 device with measuring or it is sterilized, you need to apply for standard mode of QST. And the requirement documents by mode, as you can see here, they're also abbreviated mode for manufacturing located in the US or in the EU or in Japan. So if the site of yours is located in these 3 area, then you can consider to go the simplified mode of the specific area. And as you can see, the requirement of the documents should be less, but there are internal rules about an audit report and the certificate. So if you want to understand more about this, maybe I can share later if we have enough time. So for standard and essential mode, the most different part is the quality system documents you need to provide. For essential mode, the documents of quality system you only need to provide for chapters 4, 7, and 8. But for standard mode, you need to provide from 4 to 8. That's the main differences. Then, after you collect all the documents, you should submit to TFDA. And it's an online submission. And the review process will be entrusted to 4 different a third-party reviewer or institute. And essential mode are partially reviewed by Quality, Compliance, and Management Division themselves. So the QSD review process is like this. You submit online, and the case will be assigned by TFDA to third-party reviewers, and they will take 1 month to review and issue the first notice. And you have 3 months to prepare the reply. And after that, you reply to them, and they will take the review again. And if everything goes smoothly, the dossier will be sent back, or TFDA will start to review the dossier. And if TFDA have no other opinion, then you'll get the approval. And if not, there will be a second chance. You'll get another notice and go through the process again. Then finally, approval or being rejected. And after all the process, you'll get the QSC license, which includes the information of a QSC license number here, and the company name and address, or you can say the name and address of manufacturing site, and the approved scope and activities. So as you can see, there are 4 different types of scope of this manufacturing site. And the activity are listed here. And for this site, they only approve manufacturing, labeling, package, and final quality control. So no design approved for this case. And they also provide a valid date in the end of the letter, approval letter. And now you get the QSD license, and you can proceed to submit product registration. So it's the same concept. The Medical Device Act Chapter 3 have the regulation about approval, and also they provide more detailed requirement about issuance of the license. And then they also provide guidance of preclinical testing for several scope or type of device. So for the management department, they mainly management by medical device and cosmetic division or section. So, and only section 3, 4, and 5 are responsible for product registration review. And they are divided by categories. So for the documents you need to provide for product registration, here is the list according to TFDA announced checklist. And there are lots of things, and I will pick a few points to share. So as you can see, the green part, there are free sale certificate or CFG if your site is located in the US. And also a letter of authorization and the QSD license. These 3 are the main focus point of administrative review, which is the one that takes a week. So at least you need to make sure these 3 documents are gathered before you submit product registration. Otherwise, you will get rejected in the first week of the review process. And the red part is the Chinese label and the IFU. These 2 are the only items that will be approved by TFDA, stamped with the TFDA stamp, and upload to TFDA public database. So the content of these documents are pretty important. And the second part is the technical information, which includes the product history, product description, and should include about the composition of product and technical drawings, and especially the information about body contact part, and also operation manual, service manual, radiation safety if the device emits radiation, and the particular safety about animal or origin materials, DHP, and colorants. These are need to provide if applicable, and also usability engineering information. Then the last part is safety and performance. The green part, the EP checklist and ST documents are focused for class 3 device. So if your device are determined as a class 2, no need to provide the documents in this chapter. And for 16, the orange part, I will share a little bit more about this. These are the replacement, or you can call it as a simplified route of product registration. And for chapter 17 to 18, 19, they're all preclinical and also clinical information. And for chapter 18 and 19, they only required when the device is determined as a high risk or a novel device. So about the route of simplified submission, which the benefit is you can omit the documents in chapter 17. And there are 3 routes of this simplified submission. So the first one is pre-market review technical cooperation agreement. But unfortunately, TFDA haven't announced which country have signed this agreement with TFDA. So currently, there is no product applicable for this route. And the second one is affidavit of preclinical testing conformity. There are some conditions. The conditions are there are only 6 scopes that are applicable for this route, and there must be preclinical device approved that manufactured by same manufacturer, no matter the license is valid or invalid. I believe this is a much more easier route for device, and the 6 scopes are surgical drape, surgical gown, clinical electrothermometer, the basic type, the forehead type, and the ear type is also applicable. And the surgical lamp, static electric therapy device. Yeah, only these 6 scope is applicable for this route. And what you need to submit to replace the content in chapter 17, you must fill in this checklist, and you need to mention what performance standard you use and what safety standard you use. And if the standard already covers all the function or features of your device, then you can simply check you have already provided all the acceptance criteria and specification. And if your device have other function or features other than being regulated and the standard, then you must check the second one, but you need to provide additional information. For example, the infrared ear thermometer, you need to fill in that you have already complied with these standards, the ISO and ASTM standards, and maybe CNA standards. And also for safety part, you have complied with IEC standards. So this is the basic information of this route. And the second route is more complicated because it needs to compare your device more detailed with the preclinical device. and there are also conditions. There are only 140 scopes which have the guidance, and you also must have a predicate device, and the license should be valid, and it must be registered by the same distributor and by the same manufacturer. So for this route, there are several lists need to be filled in. The first one is a comparison table with a predicate device. So the format is very, very similar as the summary of SE, substantial equivalence of 510K summary, and it needs to be as detailed as possible. And the second one is the statement with the list of comparing the standard. So you need to fill in the standard you comply with, and also the report number for both safety and performance part. And after that, you will receive the license, which includes an information of Chinese product name, English product name. The main category, it only gives the first big category, but without the 4 digits I just mentioned. And also license number and the QSD license number it linked to, and also name of the license holder and manufacturer. And there are also approval date and valid date. So that's the basic flowchart for getting your license. And there are a few suggestions before you starting a project. For QSD, it is better to check whether the ISO certificate is applicable and still valid. And the second one is to check the manufacturing status and therefore link to how many QSD will be required. And the third one is it is better to find a predicate device in TFDA or at least in FDA, so that we can judge which scope of your device is. And for product registration, it is better to find a predicate device in TFDA, because if you don't want to go novel medical device route, then predicate device is necessary. And the second one is to check whether free sales is applicable and valid within 2 years. And the third one is check whether manufacturing has established technical file of STD dossier. So that's my suggestion about before you start a project. Next, there are few updates last year. The first one is that renewed submission of QSD should be submitted before expired date 6 months. Then the QSD will stay valid until the review complete. So that you don't need to worry about QSD being expired and cannot import in the review process. And the second one is TFDA have announced that labeling change that comply with a certain condition does not require submission. And they also announced the eIFU categories, which categories are applicable for eIFU. And finally, last year have already enforcement of GDP and UDI. For GDP, there are 45 scopes, mostly high-risk product, that the distributor need to obtain the GDP to become a license holder. And upload a UDI will be required after you get the license. Okay, thank you for your time. I still can share some database if you want, but I think we can stop here and answering question first. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Mars. I think we already have several questions. So
Sure.
first question from Mila, can we get this presentation?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I will
So-
discuss. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So you will send me the presentation later after the webinar, right?
Yes.
Okay. So another question is the filter for air conditioning medical devices
Yeah.
and also for toothpaste?
Yeah.
Yes, they both are medical devices.
You mean does these belongs to medical device or not? Or
These two products belong to the medical devices or not?
I don't think so. There is a list that tells you which kind of product is not medical device, but it's only in Chinese. So if
Okay.
you need that, I can send it to you,
Mhm.
but I didn't translate it this time.
Okay, no problem. So another one is there a license transfer process?
Yes, of course. You can transfer a license to distributor to another distributor. Just you need to get the authorization from the manufacturer.
Okay, but does it require any process within TFDA if they require to have the license transfer?
Of course. It's basically the LOA and the submission application form. Then you can transfer your license to another.
Okay, thank you. So
It takes about, I think it takes about 2 to 3 months for this process.
Okay. So can you hold more than one license?
You mean one distributor?
I think the question is several distributors.
Yes, you can register your product by several distributor, and also the same distributor can hold several licenses. And you can even register same product twice for same distributor. But I think TFA will tell you not to do that.
Oh,
There's no restriction about this.
so another one from Science. Is there
Yeah.
any short process for those devices that already have FDA and CE?
Unfortunately, after 2021, there's no short process for device already approved by FDA and CE. Before 2021, there is, but they canceled that after the Medical Device Act announced.
I see. So from Amir Kameli, he say we have both FDA and CE. Can we request that TFDA adopt the CE certified wording instead of FDA?
What do you mean certified wording?
I
Yeah,
presume
so-
that they are referring to the IFU.
Yes, of course. You can choose the wording you want, but the main concern is that the description should have the predicate device in Taiwan. So if the description and the CE are, you can find predicate device in Taiwan, and then of course you can use the CE wording.
I see. Okay. From Iran Levit, can we as an Israeli company own and hold a registration? I think he means the license.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. You still need to find a distributor or license holder in Taiwan.
So that means a license holder like a Qualtech, right?
Yeah.
But if they go through your service and you are the license holder, that means the Israeli company holds the license.
You can think so. Yeah, you can consider so, because we will help you to do everything you need. For example, if you want to authorize 2 or 3 company to sell the product, we can do that.
So just to maybe to be more clear about this question, you are
Yeah.
as a service provider can authorize, and the Israeli company can authorize different distributors in Taiwan to sell these authorized or certified products, okay? But
Yes.
eventually the license holder will be the distributor.
The license holder will be the one who submit the product registration.
Right, right. Okay, thank you.
So that means, I think that means if the license holder is on Qualtech, that means if they want to, one question from me is, if they want to transfer this license to his future exclusive distributor, can they do that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, okay.
You know, the benefit of asking us to be a license holder is that sometimes if you register your product under a certain distributor, and if you want to change to another company, mostly they are not willing to.
Can we have the recorded webinar? I think Karin or Ayala should. Do you want to answer that question? Karin. Ayala?
Ayala, can you send the recording, please?
Yes, we can. So from Jessica Weiss, if the medical devices is manufactured in Taiwan, does the facility need TFDA?
Yes, it requires good manufacturing process. It's actually pretty same as the QSD. You still need to get a license for quality management system. And also after that, you need to submit product registration.
From Michael Shapira, what about products under Annex? I don't know how to pronounce this one. Avi, would you mind?
Annex, I think it's Annex 16, maybe, of the
Yeah.
MDR. Are those considered medical device in Taiwan without a medical purpose?
Yes, they are mostly considered medical device in Taiwan. As my understanding, the device without a medical purpose is mostly about aesthetics, right? So they also consider medical device in Taiwan because it has the purpose of modification or, you know, change of appearance of body part.
Right. Okay, I will just refer to Avigail questions when it comes to like manufacturing here in Taiwan. So like in our position, we're not handling manufacturing in Taiwan. You may refer to different organizations that are working in Israel. For example, the Federation of Israeli Chamber of Commerce and other federations or other chambers of commerce that might be able to help you with sourcing the right partner for manufacturing here. We will be happy to help you to further enhance your export capabilities and not vice versa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think I would like to have one question from my side. So for specific medical devices, for example, class 1 or class 2, which includes a lot of electronic parts inside. So usually when the TFDA is getting the spec and getting all the like the very detailed model of the device itself, okay, the approval or the certificate is being given based on this spec sheet eventually. However, in case that there were some components replaced within the medical device, does it need to go through another approval?
There is change or modification submission if you change anything of the device. But the condition is that if you only change a few, like for like batteries or maybe sensors, but the specification of your device is not changed, and all the contents in your IFU is not changed, then actually, even if you submit to TFDA, there is actually no necessary because TFDA change submission has several types of modification, and there's no such type of change of components. there's only a modification of specification.
Mhm. Thank you.
Uh,
Elsa, please proceed. Yeah.
Yes, I think there's a question
From Yossi.
from Yossi.
Yeah.
Abigail is already answered.
Yeah.
Two
Yossi
students
Hovich, I
appear.
will read this one. If the company has its ISO 13485 and IVDR certificates granted from TUV-SUD and is FDA registered, is there an expedite process?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, it's due to the fact that the act was passed in 2021 and ever since everything is going in following to the act, right?
Yes. So after 2021, there is no simplified route for FDA and CE both approved device.
Okay, and the other question would be what documents are considered QSD? I think you have a slide for this, right?
Yes. Hold on a second. So what documents are considered you need to provide in QSD?
Yeah.
So the first one is the application form, which you need to fill in the company information. And the second one is like an authorization letter.
Mhm.
And also you need to a must to submit ISO 13485 certificate. And if the site is located in the US, and you can use CFG to replace it as ISO 13485. And I will go the standard mode. If you go standard mode, then you have to submit factory layout and the operation layout and the list of major facilities, especially for the equipment you use for manufacturing and measuring process. And also production flow chart as clear as possible. And also the main difference between the standard and the other simplified mode is that you have to submit quality manual and all the quality system documents, which referred in chapter 4 to 8 of ISO 13485. And also there are a few requirements that may be not familiar with manufacturing site other than Taiwanese manufacturing site, which is the DMR. This is a device master record. You need to put document name and number you use for manufacturing process, distribution process, and other few main important process. And the last one is you need to provide quality system documents that includes TFDA, recall, and report articles. You can revise the current existing one, or you can create a new one. So that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, thank you for that. I would like also to add from my side regarding the several of the questions that were asked here, that our office is actually helping Israeli companies to find their designated partners here. And eventually, once you're finding your suitable partner here, you can go and apply and start the process of registering your product within TFDA with the help of companies such as Qualtech. So as we also mentioned in the beginning, in case that you are looking for your business partner here in Taiwan, you're more than welcome to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to assist.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. So thank you. Is there any more questions?
I think that from the audience, we have answered all the questions. So if there are any other questions, you are more than welcome to reach out to us. We will leave our email at the end, so you can reach out to us also via email. And please, Elsa, continue from here.
Okay, thank you for all your joining today. So if you have more questions, just feel free to send us the email. And also I will provide Mar's presentation and the email address. Okay. So Thank you, and hope you enjoy a nice day today. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Mars.
Everyone.
Thank you,
for
Mars.
joining
Thank
me.
you, Corinne. Thank you, Ayala. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Elsa. Thank you for
you.
everyone who joined this webinar.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Okay,
Bye
thank you, everyone.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.